Hey, this is Steliefty with Close.io. I want to ask a question today. Something weird is happening, and I'm not quite sure how this is going to pan out moving forward. So I wanted to ask for advice. I'm wondering how artificial intelligence will impact sales. So I have this executive assistant that's working with me, Mary. If you've tried to schedule a call or do any communication with me, you might have encountered her before. She's awesome. But one consistent thing that started happening recently is that people, when they meet me or when they're on a phone call with me and we refer to Mary, they ask me, Stelly, is Mary real? Kind of a weird question, right? Where people ask me, is this assistant, this person that's going back and forth with me and coordinating a time to meet you for coffee or jump on a call with you or meet you in some other context, is this person a real human being? Is this a real person? And people ask that for a variety of reasons. Number one is they're thinking, is this some sort of AI? They think about is this an outsourced service where multiple people are representing themselves as this virtual assistant called Mary? One way or another, people, especially in the sales space, are not sure anymore, and maybe it's sales technology, maybe it's startup sales space because we're more technology enabled. They started to doubt if the people they communicate with in email are real human beings. It made me wonder if in the future we're going to have like certified humans, in your signature when you send out emails. To rewind, why am I thinking this is specifically happening in the space of sales is that for a long time, scheduling things with salespeople has been a pain in the ass and something that kills productivity. So salespeople eventually started using tools like Calendly, and there's many, many calendar scheduling apps that allow you as a person to put in a virtual calendar online and then share a link where people are allowed to book a time whenever you have free space. And people like to share these links and go, hey, do we want to meet? Yeah, let's jump on a call. Hey, here's my calendar link, please just find a spot and schedule that. This kind of version one of trying to not waste as much time when you're in sales and you constantly have to schedule meetings and calls with people. But in version two, what's happening right now is there are services out there like Clara Labs that have a mix of what they call AI and virtual assistants and whatever else there is. They basically create a online persona that's usually Clara or Claire at your company name, and that person or software, we don't really know, is acting as a human virtual assistant and is particularly good at scheduling things. But you as the person that's using that service, you don't know who is behind all these emails, and the people that communicate with you, they have the impression there's a person called Claire or Clara that's communicating with you, but they really don't know either. And what that leads to is that people that are aware of that, they start doubting when they get into communication with executive assistants if that's a real person, if that's software, or if it's a group of people that all act as if they were one person, one feminine or female person, or one person with a specific name. And it makes them doubtful. And I wonder, number one, what's the trend? What kind of an impact will that have? And what I've started to do recently is I started asking these people, when they ask me, is Mary real? I'm like, hell yeah, she's real. And they laugh, oh, okay. And then I ask them, why does it matter? Why does it matter? You emailed back and forth. You found a time that you and I could jump on a call. If Mary's a real person or if it was a robot, what difference did it really make? It's a weird question, right? What difference does it make if we communicate with something that acts like a human being or if we talk and communicate with a real human being? I feel like on a human level, humans like to communicate with other humans. Humans like to interact with other humans. Humans build relationships, even if it's just on a micro level, even if it's just one email back and forth. You're going to create a story in your mind on who that person is that's emailing you, where they stand in life. Maybe even create a visual of how they look like and how they act. Even if it's not as conscious as you sitting down and being like, I'm going to close my laptop and phone, I'm going to focus for 30 minutes imagining who Mary is. Like, obviously it's not going to happen like that, but just for a microsecond on a subconscious level, you're going to have an image, a perception of who this person is. And it's going to affect the way you feel about the communication, the way you perceive it. So the moment you have to doubt if that person is a real person, it intercepts and interrupts your ability to create a story, an image, And that interrupts the way you feel about it. It makes it impossible for you to feel a certain way about it, which is disturbing to people, at least disturbing enough to, after they schedule a call with me 2 weeks ago and they jump on a call with me and we talk, and at the end of the conversation I go, you know what, do you want to schedule another call with Mary, or this was really good, we should meet in person, just ping Mary and find us a time, that they go, Stelly, is Mary is she a real human being? They have that sense, the need to know, like, can I trust this thing? And it's super weird. I don't know what the trend is. I don't know how this is going to be impacting things. I like the idea of certified human, right? In a world where there is more and more of things acting like humans, like one human, although it might be a collective or software. But I'm also wondering, what's going to be the impact of that in the way we interact and the hesitations we have on who we build and what we build relationships with. I'm not recording this video because I have answers, or because I know what the future is going to look like, or because I have a prediction to make, but more so to ask that question because I find it fascinating. I feel like in sales in particular, because it's so core to build human-to-human relationships, that question is going to be essential. So I want to ask you, what do you think is going to happen next? How do you think that trend is going to move forward? And what is the pros and cons? What do I do with this piece of information now that I know that some people really worry or wonder when they interact with my account executive, Mary, who's awesome, by the way. How can we communicate that she's real so people don't have to wonder? Because I have to wonder, if 10 people asked me in the last 2 months, it must be that a lot more are wondering. Well, how do you communicate that you're a human? I don't know. This is a weird, interesting little thing. I wanted to record a video about, hear your thoughts, and explore this question a bit more, because I think it might play a pretty big role moving forward. Just leave your thoughts, predictions, your observations in the comments, or tweet at me at Stelly and let me know. Maybe we'll hashtag this, certified human. I don't know if there's a hashtag already out there with this. We need to check that. Just share your thoughts. I want to know more about this, and I'm going to collect some of the thoughts, resources, links, whatever you have available to have a discussion around this and share it with everybody. And let's see what we can learn and how we can prepare for a more interesting future.